You've been running a multi-state, multinational ABA company for 21 years. Can you tell us about a time when resilience was tested at your organization and how you responded to it and what you learned from it?
Yeah, the entire year of 2025 was one of our most challenging years. Let me just ask you guys by a show of hands to get the temperature. Raise your hand if you see a trend of, say, in social media, in our industry, to decrease punishment and negative reinforcement. Do you see that trend? Okay, because that's something I think about throughout the past years. Things are challenging. I asked you that question because I notice that kind of an approach to things is really just not real life. And I feel one of the things that it has been really important for our organization is just to remember that the principles of behavior analysis are so solid and lawful that a general philosophy of not ever having negative reinforcement and not ever punishing a behavior, which simply means decreasing a behavior, that is part of everyday life. Just that reframing things and realizing that quite often each day, maybe 90% of the things you do, you may not want to do. And just that 10% of each day that you're excited and you look forward to it, that might be your positive reinforcement that you try to orchestrate or engineer, kind of like we had mentioned about creating an environment. Just creating an environment where a small part of your day is what you really, really look forward to, because we have days that the majority of our job is just undesirable. So we're doing it to get a paycheck to avoid not paying our rent, getting kicked out of our house, just reality. And I just think there's a reframing in our industry. And my mentor, Julie, would always say, and her husband, Dr. Vargas, would say all the time that it's not realistic in our science to think that we don't want to decrease a problem behavior. Of course, we need to do things like reward alternative responses and anything that can attenuate a severe behavior. But just knowing that the understanding of negative and positive reinforcement, we have to really look at that and not get caught up in the trends of this is too hard or this is uncomfortable. If we're able to create a culture of it's okay to take some risk, because what I've noticed over so many years is that the organizations that are willing to take risk and put everything on the table are the ones that innovate. So quite often leaders will punish the behavior of risk-taking and new ideas and innovation. And I think that one of the things that we work really hard on is just trying to remove the concern where I've said so many times to Isaac that, look, if you make 100 decisions a day, right? It's okay if 99 were accurate and they worked out well, but there's going to be one that didn't work out the way you needed it to. You had the right intent, you used good behavior analytic principles, you stuck to your values, and you were ethical. So it's okay if you made that one mistake. So just the idea that it's okay to have as many opportunities as you can to respond and fail, because that's the only way an organization can be innovative. And it's kind of the difference often between an organization that might be a bureaucracy with a lot of layers of management where people put their heads down. Have you ever been in that situation? You just put your head down and try not to get in trouble. You're not innovative, right? So that seems to be an area that is a common theme for resilience and going through tough times, you know. The other is taking your accomplishments on the really, really rough days. I would encourage the people that I would coach to, you wake up some mornings and you know that the alarm clock goes off and you're really not sure if you can get out of bed, and you look at your list and all the things that you have to do, and you feel that pressure just mounting up. And kind of the way I would encourage the people I coach to engineer their day would be on mornings like that to get up, just make a list of the easiest things to accomplish first. Just get that behavioral momentum. List 5, 6 things that you know each time you accomplish it, the next one's just a little harder, and the next one's a little harder, and then you get that momentum. And then you're gonna have those other days where you wake up in the morning, right? And you out of It might be a day that you had caffeine and you're excited, but then you want to take on those most difficult tests. So it's like engineering the environment in a way that your discipline is orchestrated.